Guys, it is that day of the week. It is Happy Friday day, although I don't know if we're happy because the price is dropping, but we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about targets, what's happening with Bitcoin, what to expect next, key levels, all that sort of stuff to help you get through the weekend. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm Annie. This is Trade Travel Chill. On Fridays, it's the chill day. So we just sit here and do live charting together. No pre-planned content. I will look over whatever you want me to look at as long as it's not a shill. But we always will start with Bitcoin first. So I'm going to do that first. Let me know in the chat, how are you? And also let me know where you are from. Smash the like button nice and early because it really helps to get these videos around the internet. And if you are part of the TTC private community, can you please let me know, because my calendar is not working. Can you please let me know, does Kat have a session today? Because if she doesn't, then I don't have to stick to a certain time frame. If she does, we've only got an hour together. So let me know that in the chat. And yeah, let me know where you're from. Like I said, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to go over whatever altcoins you want. You know, one thing I realized today is, like, I'm stupid because I do live TA on the 2 worst days of the week to trade. Like, I don't know what I'm thinking. I come to you on Sunday before the market opens to try and give you the market open price action. And then I come back on Friday, which is like the end of week manipulation. So that's a bit silly of me, but on Fridays we do high time frame analysis anyway. So what's happening lower time frame is not too much to worry about. So what have we got here? We've got hello from Rome, Italy, Bulgaria. We've got a Bulgarian channel. You probably know about it, Daniel. No session from Kat. Okay, awesome. How's it? I know if you said how's it, you're from South Africa. So hello. Brisbane, Australia. Can you look at Tesla? Maybe. I have never charted it, but maybe we can look at it. South Africa again. What else is going on? Smash the likes. Yes, definitely. Adelaide. So lots of Aussies. This time is good, I think, for my Aussies. Philippines, US, Switzerland, Singapore. Wow. Lots of different places. All right. It's cold in Melbourne. I heard that, actually. I heard that. I was going to go back to Australia after token. So when's token? October. But I don't think I'm going to do that anymore because I want to be here because my house here is being renovated. And yeah, anyway, I'll go back to Australia after it's finished. Canada's in the house, Colombia, France. Wow, you guys are from everywhere. Ireland, Norway, Portugal, Singapore. Awesome. Okay, let's go. Let's go and talk about Bitcoin. So this is the most obvious chart of all time. I am, of course, talking about the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin, and we have been looking out for this on this channel, but also expecting it a lot. I've got to say, inside of Discord, we've traded this like legends this week because let me just go over it. We were trading the 1-hour time frame. We traded this part here as a long position, and then I think I've removed all the drawing. No, I haven't removed them. So this was the long position that we took during the week, and this here was my target, which actually in the end gave a pretty good M formation. I didn't take that M formation myself because I went out for dinner, and I don't like to do that kind of if I can't concentrate on my entry. But when I got home, I did take a position. So I do have a short position currently, and I've closed all of my this week long positions, or this week and last week long positions, because I'll explain why, but the 4-hour to me doesn't look like this is going to turn into a high time frame W. So we'll talk about that in a sec. But this is basically, we nailed this trade. We nailed the move to the upside. We nailed the pivot to go short. And there's been quite a number of times to open that short position. And now we're just really waiting to see if the 4-hour technical analysis plays out. So the levels that we spoke about on this channel were this very large zone, which is at 103,500 to let's say 108. However, what's more interesting to me within that zone is this pocket here, which is 106 to 107 and a half. The reason that that's more interesting is because that's where the highest level of liquidity is. So we've got, this is a pretty major zone. So it could come anywhere into this zone, but this is the most major zone. So that always gets my attention. And then once I see that, especially if it lines up with EMAs or anything else that kind of makes sense, then it becomes more interesting. Previously unrecovered vector candles, which, yeah, look, at a stretch, this is it. Let's mark it out. This blue one here is it on the 4-hour time frame. There might be a more obvious one on another time frame, but this is relevant for this time frame anyway. So current interval. So yeah, so that makes this the zone. Now, if that's my zone to look for what's going to happen next, I want to see if there's any high level buy orders in that zone, because that's not the first thing that I look at, number one. It's kind of the last thing. But once I've made my decision as to where I want to look out for price to bounce, then if there's buy orders there, it adds to the conviction. But I still always have to wait for confirmation. I'm not going to automatically long just because I see buy orders in a zone, because yeah, if you've been watching this channel for a while, then you know that those buy orders can at times be fake. So this looks a bit confusing. Let me just put this in place. This here is level 2. Okay, this drop is level 2 and this drop is level 1. So this is what I'm expecting next, is the level 3 on the 4-hour. So let's go and see. Actually, let's look at liquidity first. Number one is there's a lot of liquidity above price to about, let's say 119K. So once this slow bleed is done, I do think we'll rally to that, not rally, but we'll move up to that area. I have also spoken about that on this channel, and that goes off the daily time frame here. So I spoke about losing this level. No, it wasn't. It was this level here, losing 111.5, which we did lose, and potentially this coming down, maybe into this zone, then having the bounce up to the 119, 120K. I hope my sound is okay because I keep moving my head away from the mic. I can't help it. But yeah, so originally it was like if we held this level, we may go up to the 119, 120, but we didn't, we broke it. But I still think if we come into this major zone here, it's possible that we then bounce. So the 119, 120 is still going to be my flip bullish long area. Not to say I won't long until we're back up there, because I don't do that, but I would long aggressively when I felt like this bleed was out. But 119, 120 would be my target to then decide if there's weakness and I should sell out, because that's going to be a lower high on the daily time frame, which wouldn't be good. Or if it breaks through it with strength, then I just hold on to the long. So that's my long-term plan. I think I've explained that before. And let me see what's going on in this chat here. Phew, I made it, says Sniper Charm. Sound is perfect. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. So new member in the Discord, welcome. Okay. It says Gold Coast. I think you mean Gold Coast. That's funny. Okay, so anyway, let me go back to the 4-hour time frame. So basically, when I have my macro plan, I can then go down in time frames to try to understand where I should be looking for pivots. So if I'm back on the 4-hour, this does look like we're in the process of a 3-level count to the downside. And it looks, to be honest, like a very, very good one. You know, when the price was moving up here, I showed you that area of interest on the 1-hour. And that was when I put in the Discord, like, be careful, like we're all in longs, but it might give us a lower high here, which would be basically a retail trend line. And we may head down, which is what we're seeing happen now. So would you then wonder, okay, what if this turns into a W? Because so far this hasn't broken this low. My answer is no, it cannot. And I'm going to tell you why. So let's go down to the 1-hour time frame to have a look. Actually, no, probably the 4 hours more relevant. 4 hours more relevant. So if you're going to have this move here, and then you have the retracement that creates the inside right side of a W, it doesn't move straight down like this, right? So it would trend down slowly and it would keep trapped traders trapped. So it would keep the traders in most of this candle trapped. So if you look at the price right now, you might think, well, there's a possibility of that, and there is. So we will keep an open mind on the 1 hour time frame. However, this isn't the general behavior of an inside right side of a W formation. So this is what it would look like if you were looking for longs here. Okay, you would be looking for, hold on, you would be looking for this to create a higher low now. So to me, this isn't the behavior of what would create that side. It's more the behavior of the third level drop on the 4 hour. So if that's my thought on the 4 hour, that's fine, but let me go and see if I'm wrong about that on the 1 hour, and I should be looking for that. So on the 1 hour, I do exactly the same process, right? I find the peak formation low that created the potential first side of the W, and then that's my trapped traders. So as long as the trapped traders stay trapped, I can look for pivots. So at this point in time, it is possible, because what we like to see on the inside right side of a W is we like to see the market maker show up 3 times. So let me just mark that out so you can see that. So here's 2 and here's 3. Okay, so we're looking for vector candles. Again, if you're new to this channel, you'll notice that my candles are different colors, and the indicators that I use on this channel come as part of a TTC membership. It gives you access to our community, to our courses, to our indicators, to everything that we do. But we did create a free version of these colored candles if you're just watching along and you kind of want to try to follow the same analysis just from YouTube. So in the indicators, you just type in PVSRA, and it's here, it's called PVSRA Candles Auto Override. So they will change your candle colors to the same as mine, or similar to mine anyway. But point being, we care about when they change color, because that is a sign to us that the market maker is showing up where they should be showing up. So when we look at this, technically the market maker has shown up 3 times. So there is the slight potential for this to become a W formation. However, generally the volume doesn't grow. Okay, so see how this candle is small and this one's bigger and this one's bigger? Let's check the actual volume. Yeah, and the volume is, it can sometimes grow, actually, now that I think about it. It can grow, but it would need to end in a stopping volume candle or a railroad track, which it hasn't done that yet. So it could even be a star formation. So that would take 2 more 1 hour candles that hold exactly where price is right now and move up. That would be the only time that I would think this is going to be a 1 hour W formation. So we got 2 hours for that to happen. Otherwise it's invalidated, and we would expect that the 4 hour is going to play out. I hope that makes sense. Like, I do realize I do a lot of multi-time frame analysis. I did a video about that yesterday, actually. If you haven't checked it out, you should probably check it out over the weekend maybe. But I have to, like, in order for me to trade accurately, I have to understand what's going on every time frame. So yeah, so it does mean that when we're trading live, I tend to jump around from time frame to time frame. So I hope this makes sense, but this is how I layer everything in order to make a trading decision. So for me, if I was looking for a long today, yeah, you guys are saying makes sense. Awesome. If I was to take a long today, the price could not go lower than what it is right now. And it would have to create a higher low where it is right now. And it would have to give me a bullish candlestick pattern within the next 2 to 3 hours. Now, when I say within the next 2 to 3 hours, where's my market session times? That's then tells me, well, Anastasia, is there any reason for the price to potentially bounce in the next 2 to 3 hours? And so that's where I then go and have a look at news events. So what we've got coming up today is 4:30 p.m. core PCEs. That's Dubai time. And Dubai time right now, it's 1:15. So that's about 3 hours, right? Is it? Yeah, it is. So could be. So I would be looking out around core PCE into, out of, at, any of those for that to happen, providing the price doesn't move any lower than where it is now. If it does, I'm expecting the 4 hour to play out. So that's basically my thesis on Bitcoin right now. Now, if the 4 hour does play out, then I'm looking to the targets that I mentioned earlier. Now, could we drop much lower than this liquidity zone? Yeah, absolutely we could, because we look at the daily time frame and we can see that there is another major liquidity zone down here, 94 to 96. However, that's not on my radar unless this happens. We come into here first and we bounce somewhere in this zone. We make a run for, look, it could be 115, 116, but let's say best case 119. But really that range is anywhere 115 to 120, okay? And then there's weakness somewhere there, which that would be so far away that we would be doing other videos on here to warn you about it before it happens. So don't worry, just let's follow step by step. Then if there's weakness, we could potentially come down there. But like I've said to you on past videos, if Bitcoin breaks 100K or looks like it's going to break 100K, I would take profits on my Bitcoin spot, like decent profits before it got down there, because number one, I can get back in once it takes out this liquidity if I believe the cycle is going to continue. Number two, it's a 4 to 5x on my money, so may as well take that profit. And number three, could be a sign that the cycle's over. Not that I think it is, but it could be. So I don't want to risk that. I think it's a bit silly because we are in the late stages of the cycle. And I don't want to, and I see a double top and I have to see what is there, and that is what is there, right? So I can want Bitcoin to go to 190K, but the market doesn't care what I want, right? I have to trade what I see right now. So that's basically my Bitcoin analysis. And what I wanted to do then, based on that idea, was I wanted to go over a couple of coins that I had talked about previously on this channel to just basically a progress of how it's going. So the first one was Link. Now, Link had a little bit of a fake out yesterday based on good news. And there was a part of me that thought, oh shit, is this going to be wrong? but it wasn't wrong. As we can see today, we're still okay. I'm still a genius so far. And anyway, it looks like it's just coming right back down. So I still have this idea in play. I still want to see Link come and take the liquidity between one. Look at that. That liquidity is 22.22. That's an angel number between 22.22 and 22.91. So this is still my zone of interest. I like that it lines up with the 4 hour 200 EMA. But again, if that's going to happen, what we have is a head and shoulders, and then we have a lower high. Okay, so head and shoulders, we don't have high volume here, but we probably have it on lower time frames. We have a drop through here, a retracement, and we're in the process of the next drop. And so this may not be where it bounces, because it may then create another lower high and then come down into this range. Now, being 4 hour time frame, I'm talking over the next month. All of this could happen. Okay, but don't bank on it coming down to the lower liquidity, because it can leave liquidity behind if we're in a very, very convincing macro trend. Okay, so our first area of interest is going to be the first liquidation zone or liquidity zone. We want to see what happens there. That's my major interest for now on Link. Yeah, so then what else? What was the other one? PENGU was another one, because we've been watching this like hawks, and you can see this is a pattern that I really want to catch. If you watch this channel regularly, then you'll know that we're on the hunt for this. And so we did take a chance on this in Discord, and just like clockwork, it moved right up to the top, which is what it should do. So we took a chance on this as a day trade. It doesn't look like much here, but as a day trade, it was a 12 to 1 risk to reward, pretty epic. And what do I want to mark out here? So it did what it's meant to do, right? 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're waiting to see if it creates the double bottom. It can create one more because the liquidity is there, or, well, can't create the higher low anymore because that's done. But so this is what we're watching to see if it happens to now get a new entry on this. And what do I want to say about it? What I want to say, 1 second, is that I want to refresh the liquidity now that it's moving down and just see if I need to adjust that zone. Because I don't really care. Like if I have to adjust the zone, it's fine to me, because where it is right now is only at a 50 fib level. It could come all the way down to 61 and I would still be looking for this pattern. So let's just refresh that and see where we're sitting now. Still in the same zone. So yeah, look, as long as it comes down, takes this liquidity, this is the zone to be looking for bounces on this, honestly. So that means you have to start going down to smaller time frames to look for signs of that happening. You know, we've got a few weeks where the price is right now. Yeah, keep an eye out on this. Potentially today, you're taking a risk on it because it's Friday. If you're going to do it, have loose stop losses, because this is a long-term trade, don't forget, so you can do that. Have your stop loss below the liquidity zone, even if you can. It's a high time frame trade. Have low leverage so that if there's weekend stop hunts to the downside, like this is if you end up taking it today. I'm not saying 100% you should. I'm saying we're in the zone that we should be looking for buyers to turn up. They haven't turned up yet. So if we start to now see 1 hour or 4 hour bullish candlestick confirmations that show us we're not going any lower than this liquidity today, you may be able to open a long position. It could be over the weekend. It could be next week. Yeah, I can't tell you exactly when, but what I can tell you is that we're in the zone to be looking for longs on it. Yeah, okay. What else? Someone said, is ADA dead? Let's have a look if ADA's dead. Where's ADA? So when did I draw this? Let's check it again. Because I don't know if that top one was this and it got taken out. No, it looks like it's still there. It's still there. Okay. Look, the moral of the story is, let me just quickly go back to this. We're long-term bullish, okay? So it really doesn't matter how low price comes, because look at all the liquidity to the upside on Bitcoin. They will come for it eventually. We just have this major zone that they may be coming for first, which on this heat map, it shows at about 108. But I don't use this. This is the free CoinGlass one. I use High Block, and so it's a lot more accurate. So therefore, my levels are more accurate than what this is, but it's good enough. It's a good enough piece of free software to use. So yeah, you can see there, right? Like these bright yellow is what we care about. And let me just move that up a bit. Yeah. And you can see that that's there. So like I always say to you, the markets are just a game of liquidity, and they may just be trying to send price down to take that before they come to take this. So it really is the time. What did I title this video? I forgot what I titled it. Yeah, the changes everything for altcoins. So everyone's bullish from today, but this is showing that maybe it's too early to be bullish from today, but the opportunity is coming, especially if we see them take that liquidity first, and it may be the opportunity to get altcoins cheaper. So anyway, let's just redo this Cardano liquidity. So that's correct. This has basically been taken. We're on this last little, well, it's really been taken in the current candle. So let's go. So see, that's the major liquidity right there that it's taking right now. So is Cardano dead? Absolutely not. Zoom out on Cardano. Let's have a look. Look at this, right? So this is some kind of retail triangle, forget what they're called. And within that, this is a W. This is a rise, a retracement, a rise. We're in a retracement. We're at the high liquidity. We're at the 50 EMA. So this is the area to be looking, according to the TBD system, to be looking for long positions. Now, if it doesn't come in this zone of liquidity, the rest aren't as significant, but you would keep an eye on the liquidity around about the 200 EMA, just above the 200 EMA. I wouldn't really, if this happened, I would reset, but worst case scenario, 0.75 to 0.77, but this is the area to be watching first. So then let's go down to the 4 hour and see what's happening there. My computer screen, I need to buy a new one because it just turns off on me. I don't know why, and then it turns back on. But anyway, we can see that there's, this would have just broken actually. Let me just check. Yeah, so that's broken. That retail pattern has broken to the downside, which sometimes, depending on pattern timings levels, that can be intentional to fake out retail traders. Yeah, look, I'd keep an eye on this zone, especially because this whole zone is within this vector here. And so if it can reclaim this area, it would be a good area to go long. However, if it breaks below that, just know that it's taking out this liquidity and there's another vector down here. So don't just do an automatic buy. Wait now at this point in time for 1 hour time frame bullish candlestick confirmations. If you get them, it's worth taking a chance in this zone. If you don't get them, just check again in this candle zone right here. Make sure I did. I put them. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I checked my cables. I checked everything. I hate being tech. Seriously, I hate it. Like everybody that's in like content creators, they have a team behind them. And I just sit here by myself trying to figure shit out. And I don't want to do that. I just want to get on the internet and hit record. And it's so hard. It's so hard. You're making me rant about it right now. But I don't want to be smart at that. I actually don't. I just want things to work. I want to save my brain space for technical analysis because that's all that fits, you know. HDMI problems, probably, maybe I'll just get a new cable and see if that fixes it. Could be your drivers, not the screen. See, you guys are so smart. How do you guys know this stuff? I hate working this stuff out, seriously. Any thoughts on Circle at the moment? I have not even looked at Circle. I don't even know what the ticker is. You are better than all of them. I have HDMI problems, same issue, frustrating. Okay, I'm going to buy a new cable over this weekend. Cardano chain itself is ghost chain. To me, man, I don't care. I care about technical analysis, and if the chart shows me there's some money to be made, then I'll make it. The only thing I stay away from is stuff that I know is obviously being shilled on crypto Twitter or YouTube. That's what I stay away from. Everything else, as long as the chart looks bullish to me, I'm involved. Okay, so Bruman says it's the CIA. I think it is too. I think you might be right. All right. You guys are asking about CRO. Fine, you win. Do I have it on here? I don't even have it in this. Well, the reason I don't have it in this list is because I wasn't going to short-term trade a massive pump, but if you insist, we will talk about it. So I may not have it charted up. Oh, I do. Okay, so let's zoom out. So to me, CRO was a trade that legendary Pedro gave out to you guys. He was talking about it before he was a host on this channel. So he's been talking about it since I think 7 cents on his own channel. And then when he started talking about it on this channel, it was about 11 cents. My average entry is 12 cents, thanks to him. So this was also given in the Capital Club of TTC, but this was back in like January, I think it was, Feb. And so it was a long-term position, and those people are getting paid now. However, the original for trade purposes targets were these 3 fib levels, and they all like smash through. Now we're keeping a moon bag of it because that's what we do. And when it comes to targets, there's really only one way when you go into price discovery. It's in price. No, it's not in price discovery. Oh, okay, let's have a look at this. This changes things a bit. I didn't realize that all of this price action was here. So let's go and have a look. Now, candlesticks this far back, so this is 2022, they're no longer relevant for the purposes of liquidity. So just know that, but it's all we have for price targets. So let me just put this here to see where it went. Okay, so right now it's in this area here, this candle. So then well, it's pretty easy actually, because look, all you're looking for now is candles back from that far back that retested and couldn't break through. So this is a very obvious one. Okay, it created this high, it fell away, it attempted it for a second time, and then it's never returned. Okay, so that would make a very good target right there for continuation. This is, and then after that, it's just take profits based on time if it continues going, not so much targets. So the thing is that the prior to that, you have the trend-based fibs. So if you've never used trend-based fibs before, it is in your trading view, and it's literally called, can you see? Yeah, you can see that, trend-based fib extension. So you click on that, you take it from a peak formation low, which is down here, to the peak formation high, you click on it there, and then you drag it out to the last peak formation low, which is that one there. And then, so this is what you will do if all of your altcoins go into price discovery for taking profits. This is, I should have made, there's a whole video in this, but anyway. So once it passes the 100%, you just take partial profits at every new fib level. A range, every new fib level range, because then you can't go wrong. So you would have taken partial profits here, take a little bit more here, a little bit more here. Now, when it goes to above, so I have these colors, I did them myself. This is how I think about it. And maybe you want to copy the same colors, so I'll explain it to you. When you get, like when you're doing Elliott wave and you're measuring out the target for wave 5, if everything has followed, then the 61 and the 78 is most likely where the wave 5 will go. So that becomes your first target. Not in this particular CRO case. I'm just talking about why my levels are colored like this. So they're first. Now, if it goes into the yellow range, which is 100%, 127 and 161, that's very bullish, okay? But usually it won't go beyond the 161. So you would definitely be taking partial profits or considering closing your whole trade if it got to 161, depending on the actual trade at the time. If it goes beyond that, that usually only happens in a parabolic alt season. It doesn't usually go higher. So the 200, the 250, the 300, and the 400, rarely it gets to 400, but it can. In parabolic alt season, it can. That's basically like literally take some profit, because this is probably going to swing back hard. So the fact that CRO went basically to the 200, it's very, very bullish. Then you can use TBD system to decide your levels. And I would start counting from this peak formation here. So this would be a rise 1, this is your retracement, and this is rise 2, which means now on CRO, after a pullback, it will probably go again. And so well, first of all, you should have taken some profit on this. It would have been silly not to take some profit on this because it had such a massive run and you've been in from such a low price. Don't hang on thinking it's going to keep going and I need to make as much money as possible. And what if it doesn't? You know, like you made money, lock away the profits. You can do whatever you want with it after. You can always get back in as well. Like if this pushes up, you've taken profit and it comes back and it maintains a higher low, you can put those profits back in if you want, because now you're certain that the higher low was just a pullback. That's much better than trying to hold from 11 to $5 million and doesn't go there. So what you'd be looking for now in CRO is for it to have some sort of a pullback. It might consolidate. It might build a bull flag eventually. This is a daily time frame. That's going to take time. It could even take a whole month to happen. But whatever happens from here, as long as it maintains structure, meaning it creates the higher low on the daily time frame, you could then redraw your fib extension and redraw new targets from this. Oh, actually, no, you wouldn't. The way you would draw it, how am I going to explain this? Let's just pretend it pulls back to here. And what you do then is grab your fib again and you'd go again from the low. This time you go to this high and then you pull it out to wherever the low is of the pullback. And now you've got your new targets, which again will be 61.78. and then 100, you know, whatever, depending on how bullish it is. So that's what I personally would do with CRO. Should have taken some profit already, let the pullback happen, see if the market structure maintains itself. You can put your profits back in, or you can get involved if you're not involved and you want to be. Buy this. Can I copy and paste that? I can't. I'll do it after I'll find your comment after the show. Love your sense of humor. Okay, what else is going on here? Funny how I never noticed this CRO before. Yeah, this is what I say to Pedro all the time. Like, how do you know this stuff before it happens? And he just says lots of research. I'm like, that's not detailed enough, Pedro. I want the inside information. Anyway, all right, what else do you want? Solana. All right, let's look at Solana. I was looking at Solana last night actually, because Solana is right in the area of interest on the high time frame. So see, this was my zone here that I basically thought was going to be a battle zone, and currently it's a battle zone. So again, actually, let's refresh this liquidity and make sure we're still right about it, because it did come and take some of it, and there was a short-term trade from there. So we have to reassess now. Yeah, it's still there. Okay, so I mean, what do you want me to tell you? TA is the same, and TA is still the same. It looks like it's going to struggle a bit. Kind of looks like everything will pull back a little bit now, which I want. We want that. We want the leverage flush out, because that's where the peak formation lows come in that I talked about on yesterday's video. So they're the ones that will be up all night, every night, until we get those peak formation lows. But for me, Solana would be great if it came down here. It may not. So that's 171 to 176. It may not, because it is currently creating higher lows, but I would get involved in Solana on a long position if it came back here. That's the daily time frame 200 EMA. That's for me, because I don't chase trades. I want what I want. And if I get what I want, I get involved. And if I don't get what I want, there will be another chart somewhere that will give me what I want. So that's what I want. That's what I want, essentially. Okay, what else are you guys asking me for? So Solana, I did Pepe. Do I have? I don't think I have Pepe on my list. Do I? I do. Okay, so I haven't charted this in a long time, and it's broken. Is this correct? No, I would say that this is probably more correct, and either way, it's still broken. I don't think we can we get liquidity on this? No. I don't like it because it's broken a retail pattern to the downside. And when I look left on it, there's no vector candles here to act as the support. And this one, this high volume one here, has already been reclaimed. So where's the next one? Even this one has been reclaimed. This one reclaimed. It's bad. Yeah, for now it's bad. So really all you're banking on, if you want a long Pepe, is support levels, which is not how I trade. So you'd be waiting to see if it holds this support, but I don't trade like that. So this is a no trade for me personally. Okay, what else do you want? FXS. This is a good GridBot. I don't know if you can get FXS on Pionex. I might check that later, but this is a good GridBot. Speaking of which, if you are wanting to learn how to GridBot trade, we do have a full course, free, 100% free course. It's in the description of this video. It will take you under an hour to learn how to do it. These are the instructions of how to get access, but it's worth doing it because there are certain things you need to know. Like even if you copy someone's bot, which if you join Pionex using our link, you can copy all of my bots, and the links to do it are all down here. Actually, I should mention with the links to all of my bots, not all of them need your UID to be under us, meaning you don't have to have used our link. So you can access this file, and the ones that say open to public, you can copy those if you want to. However, when you do use our link, you support the channel. So if you get value from the education that you get on this channel, that's a really nice way to thank us. But with the course, all you do is you have to fund your account with $250, but that's your money and that's yours to use on bots. And then you'll see the link for this course right here, and you just go here to get access, and then you follow the instructions and it will give you access to the course. You can do it in, like I said, under an hour, teaches you how to set up your own bots. It shows you how to get into our Discord to follow along with my updates and everything like that. Because yeah, like I said, even if you're copying other people's bots, you still have to know how to do everything, because if they make a change, it doesn't make the change for you. You have to manually make your own change. So it's very important that you know what you're doing. So it's free. You may as well grab access to it. And you also, if you do join Pionex using our link, you will get access to these deposit bonuses, and the deposit bonuses you can use to try out Pionex bots without using your own money. So that's kind of cool as well. So what was I saying about FXS? I was saying that this is a good GridBot range. I'm not 100% sure if you can use, I don't know if FXS is available, but if it was, this is a great range, because I'll tell you why. You've got a pretty obvious low here, and you've got a pretty obvious high basically here. So I would set my range, I set it below the low and above the high of the range. And the ideal time to get into the bot, to set up your bot, is in the lower 60% of the range. So you don't treat GridBot trading like a trade where you have to look for the peak formation low. You just have to be somewhere towards the low end if you're setting up a long bot, because that just means that it can buy and sell a lot more. And then as long as you don't think your range is going to break to the downside, then you just set up a low leverage long bot, and yeah, it will just, as it's moving down, it will just buy every time it moves down, and then every time it moves up, it sells. And then when it gets into the top of the range, it makes sure that it's taken all the max profit, so that if it breaks out of your range, it stops. And basically you can either change your range if you want to keep it going, or just close your bot because its job is done. But the best time for GridBot trading is not in a bull market. Like I keep hearing, sorry, not in a bull market. It's not what I meant to say. In a highly bullish trend. Like I keep seeing people say, oh, you know, the price is dipping. This is going to be the perfect time to set up your bots. It doesn't work like that's trading. Bots work better in a ranging market, and a lot of alts are in ranging markets. I actually set this. I shouldn't show this publicly, but I will. I set this up here. I said to my community here, I've opened a few bottom of the barrel total crap BS altcoins on some rubbish that's been going nowhere for months. And then I said, do you want them? Look how many people wanted them. I don't know what's wrong with you guys. But the moral of the story is, let me show you this chart. So this was render as the example of that. And I use liquidity to set my bots. That's kind of a secret. I'll do a video on that as well, actually, I think. Let me know if you want a video on that. But it allows me to set the ranges very, very easily. And this is what you want to see. You want to see a multi-month range for GridBots. You don't want to see, like someone asked me to set it up on XRP. And then I'm like, well, why would I? Because if you look at XRP as an example, it may have pulled back now because I haven't looked at it in a while. Where are you? Here. Like XRP is massively bullish. So this is a good trade. It's not a good GridBot. Okay, that's the difference. This is a good GridBot. This is a good trade. And that's why you need both, guys. Like one doesn't replace the other. You need both. So anyway, moral of the story is for FXS, it's not a trade necessarily. Let me go back to it. Where was it? Where was it now? It's not a trade for me right now. Let's just measure this out. Yeah, look, it's If you want to invest in it, I would be looking to see if it holds this vector candle right here. Would be a good buy range if you want to invest in it. But it's not a trade for me right now until it actually changes structure, but it would be an amazing GridBot. Okay, what else do you want? D says FXS is on Pionex. Okay, good to know. Maybe I'll set up a bot for you guys to copy later. Let me know if you want me to do that. If I do it, I'll add it to that file that I showed you. ETH. Okay, let's do ETH. So to me, Ethereum has on the daily, it's played out its 3 rises. I think we've talked about this, and it gave a final damage M formation. I would not mind a bit of a correction on ETH. Let's get rid of this. It's not going to get rid of it. Okay. 1 sec. And let me just double check that all of this information is still correct. I might adjust this a little bit. You know, the worrying thing about ETH is its major liquidity is all the way down here. But that would need a really deep correction. But I think if that happened, like, I think that would be definitely an opportunity. Like that's ETH back at 3K. I'm not sure if that will happen, to be honest with you. We need, first of all, we've got to break the daily range, which that hasn't happened yet, but this does look like it should correct. And the first area is obviously the daily range low of 4,073. The second area is this. That's what we will worry about next, which is 3,006 to 3,009. So let's see our levels on a lower time frame then. This is kind of just choppy, so let's go down more. Okay, so this is 1, this is 2. So there should be on the 1 hour another level down, I think, which kind of lines up with what I'm thinking should happen for Bitcoin too. So I think that ETH might give us another level down to maybe the low of the week. So back to the daily range low. And that's where we would need to reassess what's going on with ETH from there. What to consider if we jump into GridBot trades if they're already going. That just, you don't have to worry about when to get in. Like I said, you don't have to time the bottom. You just need to, ideally you want to make sure you're in the lowest 60% of the range. Most of, like in this market, you are going to be. So yeah, don't worry about it too much. But if something's parabolic, don't jump into it then. If you look at a chart and you see that it's ranging sideways, then that's a good one to copy. Okay, what else have we got here? I'm trying to find ones that I haven't done before. Can we look at Chill Guy? Chill Guy, Chill. I don't know the ticker. Is it Chill? Oh, Chill Guy. Well, I know nothing about this, so I'll just tell you that much. I don't know if there's liquidity. I don't know if it's worth trading. I think it's going to break this low, which is not good because then that is a lower high and it's going to be a lower low. And really all you can do is, if it breaks that low, is watch what happens here. So it's basically in that zone already. I'm not sure if we can get access to the liquidity on this. No, we can't. What else do I want to check on this? I don't like that. What else do I want to check? This one. Not for me. I don't like this. If you are interested in this, it would need to double bottom here. If it doesn't double bottom, there's a potential for it to do almost a full reset to back to its low. So yeah, be careful. Be careful with this one. Not a fan myself. Curve has actually been difficult to trade lately. Because its sell-off I've noticed has been pretty strong. So, and it's kind of like rounded, which is I'm not a fan of, but there was a lot of high volume move up through here. So really what Curve is doing is recovering that imbalance. And so I do keep an eye on it daily, but I'm not getting involved until it feels like most of that rebalance is done and it creates a high low. So originally on Curve, I was waiting to see if it basically retested these highs here. But it broke and retested, which means it's got more of a correction coming. So really all you can do on Curve at this point in time is mark out your daily vectors on it, which is this one here that it's coming back to now, that's a nice one because it lines up with the 200 EMA. So you would start looking on smaller time frames now for evidence of a bounce. But if it doesn't come here, it's got other vectors along the way to be doing the same thing. So you're really just waiting to see at any of these green vectors, do buyers turn up on lower time frames? If they do, get involved. If they don't, wait a bit longer. But yeah, that's my first area of interest for it at this point in time. It's a bummer that it broke below this, but I understand why it's doing it. So it's just a waiting game. It's just a waiting game at this point in time. All right, what else? Can you check ETH BTC? Sure. Same deal. This was the level 3 we were waiting for, which ended up happening. These were all the old area of interest for the levels. And we're waiting for the correction. Really tells me that we should correct, but it's a welcome correction. Like if you get scared in this correction, just know that it's this correction that led to this as well. You know, like I really do think if it takes a whole month to correct, I think that's fine. And I think it's a good opportunity. As long as we create macro higher lows, I really don't care how much we correct. Okay, what else? ICP, that wouldn't be on my list. That would not be on my list. Okay, let's look at ICP. I mean, that's a good grid bot, but it looks like it's going to break the low. This doesn't look good. This looks horrible. Why are you interested in this? Do you have a bag of this and you're hoping that you can get out of it? Because that's the only reason. That's the only reason you would be interested in this. This is horrible. Like even this is like a massive drop retracement, massive drop board meeting before another massive drop. That's how it looks to me. If I'm wrong on this, it basically just has to break this range and get back above the 200 EMA. That's the only time you would flip your opinion on it. Right now, it looks like it's going to the depths of hell. Okay, what's next? HBAR. HBAR is, again, similar to Curve actually, now that I see this chart. So I'm waiting to see if it retests this level here. It looked like it was creating a bit of a descending triangle, which even though a descending triangle should break to the downside, in a bull market, sometimes it can be bullish, but you just wait within the pointy end of the triangle for evidence of that. And we don't have the evidence of that. So this may break to the downside. However, its support is not too far away. It's prior resistance, which will hopefully hold as support. However, again, very similar to CRV, see how it's got this big imbalance here. So it may break to the downside. It may rebalance some of this. And if it does, every single one of these candles on the way down is your zone to mark out, to look then to lower time frames for evidence of buyers, then get involved. still bullish on it, but it needs to rebalance its zone. That's fine. As long as it creates a macro high or low, it's an opportunity. Okay. Guys, if you smash the likes, let me see. Let me see where we're at. Where are we at? 862 watching, 459. It's not a bad ratio, but I think we can do better than that. Smash the like button if you are getting value from this video. Okay, what else? HBAR I did. Dot. Dot is also a good bot range. But probably not really anything else. Yeah. So what I don't like about DOT is constant rejections of the 200 EMA. So when you see that, look here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you see that, that tells you obviously what it needs to break in order to change its current trend. So its current trend is bearish, macro bearish. So if that trend is going to change, the only positive it has at this point in time is a very, very slight change in to higher lows, from lower lows to higher lows, but it's also creating lower highs against that 200 EMA. So the condition for you to want to get involved in DOT would be, like I'm talking for long term, would be that it has to get above that daily 200 EMA. Now, could you take a gamble on it in anticipation of that happening? You could, but it would need to create yet another higher low. My screen's gone again. So therefore, you're looking for that now on lower time frames. So how do you count your levels on lower time frames? 4 hour is chop. So then we look to the 1 hour. The 1 hour is pretty clear. You've got your peak formation. This is a drop, a retracement. It's in a drop now. It's trying to hold the low of the week many times here. So that's one positive sign. If it stays, if it comes back and stays at the low of the week, you could take a chance on a long, but these counts are a bit choppy to me. Let's see, 15 minute. 15 minute has a very obvious M formation. This would be drop 1, retracement. We're in drop 2 now. Potentially there's a retracement back to this, half of this, which would also retest the initial low of the day, then the move to the low of the week. Then maybe you could look for a 15-minute W there. And then if you got it, that would feed up and you would keep watching it on the 1 hour, the 4 hour. And if it maintained that, that low on the 4 hour, you would hold that until the top of the trend line, see how bullish it is there, and you may then actually have caught the very bottom or bottom-ish of a trend breakout. So that's how you trade at multi-time frame. But yeah, watch this one on the 15-minute. Doesn't look like it's done yet. Okay, what else? So many requests. Are they? Okay, so this is old liquidity. We can see it just took it, and now it looks like it wants to have a little bit of a bounce off the 4 hour 200 EMA. Where are we? Daily. I think it took this too. No, hold on. So let's see where the liquidity is on this. Wow, that's pretty massive liquidity below price. That's a bit of a worry. To me, this feels like the bounce is done for now. And the left side of an M has formed. So I would be looking out potentially for a second side. So it's very easy to identify the trap traders here because of that massive, massive wick. And therefore, we would be looking for some sort of short-term recovery. And if it can't reclaim this vector candle and it gives us a lower high, you would then expect that it's going to correct at least to the the daily 200. And then if it breaks below that, probably into this zone. So that could be a pretty deep correction. But again, it's a long-term opportunity. If you see it wipe out that high level of liquidity and then bounce out of there, it's an opportunity, but it's not an opportunity today. So that's what I'd be looking out for on Arlay. Is there anything else I want to say about it? I don't think so. Yeah. Yeah. I see it as an opportunity worth keeping an eye on, but I would want to see this correction. I would want to see it. Let's have a look at dominances. And also, let's have a look at the stock market. Okay, so S&P is fine. It's just creeping up. NASDAQ is at risk of creating a head and shoulder. So if NASDAQ corrects, crypto may correct, and maybe crypto's front running that correction actually. That's very possible. That was our new moon lower high. So currently we're in bearish moon phase for anyone interested in that. Dominances this isn't ideal. The stable coin dominance is at resistance. So we don't want the stable coin dominance to get above the 200 EMA. So that's worth keeping an eye on. This is doing what I thought it was going to do. This is doing its M formation correction. Again, fine. If the alt's correct, it's so fine. And then we're still waiting for dominance, Bitcoin dominance, to come back in and give us a little bit of strength to help with that altcoin correction that we actually want. Well, I want it. I hope you guys want it too. Okay. What else do you guys want? I'm seeing a lot of coins that I've already done. Mudang. So Mudang, wait, why don't I? Oh, because I'm not on the right thing. Hang on. Here. Yeah, this is what I'm watching on Mudang. Anywhere in this blue vector zone right here on the daily. And I don't think we can get liquidity for it, can we? Oh, we can. Yeah, that's why. So to me, I think Mudang has the opportunity to be a massive trade, but not yet. And so look at how all this lines up. It's so delicious that it's worth being patient for. So we've got this blue vector here, and this is a high liquidity zone because you've got the green candle on the left of it with the spike to the top, the green candle on the right of it with the spike to the bottom, and then the blue in the middle with the wick down below it. We've returned to the area once, tried to move out but create a lower high. We're back in the area now, and we can investigate that there's liquidity a little bit lower than where it is now. So this whole zone is now worth hunting for, and it's worth hunting hard for. This is the stuff that could lead to massive trades, but not today, maybe not today. Ideally, we want to see it take that liquidity. And yeah, I think that would just be delicious. So we're looking in this, mostly in this range right here. Could spike lower. So that's why it's not worth, taking a position with a big stop loss. It's worth waiting for lower time frame hints of bullishness coming in because there is liquidity all the way down to here. So 0.119 to 0.132 is the ideal area, providing, number one, let it get into that zone first. Number two, when it gets into that zone, then go down to 4 hour, 1 hour, 15 minute, and look for signs of W formations, trapping volume formations, half Batman formations, things like that. Anything like that. It may spike fast. I don't know. So you have to be prepared. But this is worth having an alert on. If it doesn't take that liquidity, I wouldn't rush into a trade because there's more of this kind of pointy end of the triangle to go. And it may bounce out. It may do this. And if you're already long and then you have your stop loss just under here, it may spike down before it moves out, and which is very highly likely if the market maker is building big positions. So yeah, ideally we want to see it take this liquidity before we get involved in it. But I think it's definitely one worth watching every day until we get it. ZBCN. I don't know what that is. ZBCN. Is it this? Consultante says ICP wallets connected to devices IDs WTF. I don't know what that means. Like for technical stuff like that, you got to ask Pedro. I'm just a technical analyst. I just draw patterns on charts all day. I don't have much more intelligence than that. That's the limit. That's the limit. I don't like this. It looks like it's about to create a lower low. It looked like it had a chance to hold this and it didn't hold it. So, and that's lower highs. It's a macro lower high. Daily 200 EMA is enticing because of the remainder of this candle. So it's retested the halfway mark of it already. So the lower half of this candle would be my area of interest. If buyers don't step in there, then yeah, nothing for me. It looks like it's got more to go essentially. Hype. I don't have that on my list. Hype. Is it they have it perp? Bybit has it perp. OKX has it perp. Oh. What, do you want to short it? I imagine you want to short it because you wouldn't want to long it. Would you? No, surely not. Wait, is there an older chart? I don't know where this was first listed. Probably MEXC. Looks like it needs a bit of a correction to me, but I don't really like the price action. We've got a stop hunt high here after 3 hits to the high, or at 3 hits to the high. That can be bearish, but you'd be waiting for it to break the 50 EMA. It may come, if it comes up, maybe on the 4 hour, if it comes up and creates a lower high after that daily time frame stop hunt, no, that's not good. Okay, there's a 1 hour M. It's not perfect, but 1 hour drop, retracement drop. Looks like it's got at least a bit more to go on the 1 hour, and then you'd have to see if that feeds. Yeah, look. Not for me. Yeah, this is not for me, but if I would want this to correct and then potentially go long on it. You could short it, but it's already done 2 drops on lower time frames. Okay, what else? Wait, do you deserve? Let's see. 585 and 810 watching. Guys, give me some likes if you want me to chart your coins. Whilst we are at it, just quickly, I'll take a break to let you know about Week's bonus that they've got going on right now. So on Week, first of all, if you join Weeks with a TTC link, you get automatic VIP2 trading fee for life, which is hard to earn. And it turns out to about a 25% trading fee discount. So it's pretty massive. And like, yeah, like I said, it's not easy to get to that level. So that's number one. But they've also got these new user rewards at the moment and 100% position airdrop boost. So you can get a $10 to $100 coupon for securing your account. And then you get all of these deposit bonuses for ETH position vouchers, which go all the way up to like $4,000. But then on top of that, if you're trading futures on weeks, which this is pretty massive, you just got to achieve these trading volume targets. So the 10,000 very basic. 10,000 gets you 5 USDT that you can claim. But this goes all the way up if you're a whale. And if you're a whale, you want to be VIP too from day one because you pay a lot in fees. But it goes up to 7,035. Wait, show me is it all the way up? Why is it not showing me that now? Here we go. If you do two, whatever that is, you do that much trading volume, then you get this, 2 with a lot of zeros. If you do that much, you get $7,000. So it's worth doing. Like if you're trading anyway, you might as well claim these bonuses. I always, like on all the exchanges, I go to this promotions tab and I see what I can get for free because I'm just a tight ass, but it's worth it. Like you want to be getting discounts on your trading fees and you want to be taking advantage of bonuses. So yeah, there's a link to Weeks in the description down below if you want to check that out. And actually I want to check out the Bitcoin orders. We didn't do that. So the highest amount of orders is at 108. It's 401. I would like to see it higher than that if I was going to expect a bounce at 108, but it may grow over time. But yeah, 108 is the area to watch. If we break below 105, yeah, won't worry about too much lower than that. Anyway, that's that for now. Okay, what else? PCE. PCE is coming up. I never have thoughts pre-move. I have thoughts based on price action and what the charts are showing me might happen. So that means I need the 15-minute, and that's why when I look at the 15-minute, am I on the 15-minute? Yes. I can see that this was 3 hits in level 3, and we know the trap traders because we talked about them. So yeah, if we hold this level and create a higher low here, or we go into consolidation into it, when exactly is that news event? Which one are we looking at? This one here. They're both this. No, that's not that. That's Thursday, Friday. Core PCA. Yeah. So this has enough time to create a W or a trapping volume formation. It has enough time, and then a potential reversal. But I would just worry because it's Friday that it might be a fake reversal. So let's just see. Let's just see what happens. There may be a day trade in it, but just be careful because, yeah, we know what happened last Friday. Okay. A lot of these I've done. Let me go to the bottom of the list and see what I haven't done. We're going to 100,000. It says mock membership. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. I don't know. Let's have a look. I keep seeing it in there, but I don't know what this is. If this is a shit coin, I'm not yeah. And just know that I'm not involved in it. I've never heard of this, so I don't know what this is. Come on, dude. Why are you interested in this? Look at the volatility in those wicks. This is a scam. I don't know what it does. It might not be a scam. Don't sue me. But when I look at this chart, I'm not interested. All right, GRT and GRT. Do I have GRT on here? GRT. Oh, no, that's spot. Who Who would have a good chart on it? Probably OKX. It's a good GridBot range. It's a very good GridBot range. That's what I would do with it. I would set up a GridBot on this range. It's easy to identify your level down here and then here. And if you do our course, you will know that you don't set your range to the exact bottom. You give it a buffer. So, you know, you'd probably set your range somewhere here on low leverage. And I would go above this cluster here because you can always adjust it. That's how I would play this one. Okay, what was the other one? I saw another one. Where is it gone? I did quant, didn't I? Someone tell me in the comments, have I already done quant? I think I've chart overload right now, and I can't remember if I did it. In the meantime, we did look at quant. Thanks, Lorian. Okay, I'm going to do this one here, Ondo. Is that on my list? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I remember now. I was looking at this yesterday and I was like, it's on the verge of opportunity, but I think it's going to break, and it's broken. So what I was looking at was this, and I wanted to see if this would form an ascending triangle for a breakout of this area of interest, but it wasn't looking good. And because it had already broken here, I was looking, and it's retested. So let it play out. Best case, it holds this support, but I don't see really why it should. I mean, it might. Best case scenario, something really bullish in the market overall probably would have to happen. So see if that holds. I don't trade diagonals anyway, just to be clear. So I wouldn't care about this line. I'm just aware of it because of how retail trades. So this isn't relevant for me to make a decision. What's relevant is that I can see a lower high and basically an M formation here in an area that should have broken out bullish, and it didn't. So now I'm looking at horizontal levels, which is this vector candle. And if it holds that level, then it will start to create this retail pattern instead. So within that pattern, over time, I will look for it to continue to hold that pattern. Then I would turn bullish on it if I saw something like that. But if it breaks below it, it's a no trade and a complete reset once the damage is done. All right, guys, I might leave it there. I hope you got value from this live session. If you did, be sure to smash the like button and let your friends know. Don't forget to get onto the Pionex course if you need it, or just join Pionex and grab the link if you want to copy my bots. And don't forget to grab that week's offer. And that's all I have for you. So enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys on the next one.